Hey, welcome back. You know, I just had a comment asking me if I could do an Urban Express Extravaganza. And I said, well, why not? That sounds like a bloody fantastic idea. So let's do it, all right? He wants to know everything I've done to the Urban Express. Well, let's see what we can do here. Let's start with the front tire. As you can see, I have put on a massive 3.5-inch front tire. It is just a beast. And hopefully it doesn't start raining on us. I guess I'll move right along then. And to do that, see where I'm pointing is one of the little bracket extensions I added on 4 locations to basically move that fender up so that it could accommodate that huge tire. And I moved it up about, at least an inch, probably 1.25 inches, because if you try to keep the front fender in its original location, it's impossible with those tires. It's still a 16-inch tire, but a wider tire is also a taller tire. And it probably slows me down, which is good because this thing goes ridiculously fast. And I also replaced the front brakes and the front brake cable. And then originally when I got the bike, someone had done the Dremel and tape to the headlight bulb because the headlight bulb had burned out on them. And I had messed with that, substituted another bulb, and eventually I just got a brand new headlight. So, and I think that is all to the front end. Let's move further down the bike, shall we? Okay, I guess in the center of your screen, luckily the seat was in great shape, so I've never had to do anything to that. But in the center of your screen, you'll see the Mikuni VM18 carburetor with 28mm air filter. And so actually that came after I put on the MLM People's pipe. The MLM People's side bleed pipe was really my first major upgrade, along with the BX31 belt. And then my next upgrade was this VM18 carburetor. To put on the VM18 carburetor, you need to get the MLM intake that goes with the carburetor. I've not put on any aftermarket reeds, but maybe I'll do that. And then underneath that belt cover, much work has gone on. Currently I'm running a Melosi belt. I have tried about every belt under the sun. And then I was missing some washers and such from the kickstart drive belt assembly. So I replaced all those, and everything was working fine until recently my kickstart started giving me problems, so I'll have to go back in there and take a look and see what's going on. That shock, Treat sent me a free shock to test out for not only the Urban Express but for the Honda Express and the QT50, and they tried to send me one for the Suzuki FA50, but I did not have one of those and really wasn't interested in buying one. So that is a brand new shock, rear shock. Also at the back there under the cover, it has a GY6 clutch with a silver or gray spring, 1600 RPM contra spring, and then the red I think the 2000 RPM clutch springs. And in the very back are the Malossi race gears. And then recently I added, see that black fender stay? That is the MLM fender stay. Because I'm a rear fender type of guy. I know a lot of people don't believe in them, but I like the rear fenders, and so there you have it. The gas tank was in pretty good condition over there to the right of the screen, right there. So didn't have to do much with that. And I think I replaced one of the turn signal lenses over time. And then right there is the dreaded DR kit with the Puck Honda head. I had to get some new cylinder bolts to make that work, and it's running a you can see the wire coming from the spark plug. That is a Trail Tech temperature gauge, because with this bike you've got to keep an eye on, or with the DR kit you got to keep an eye on the temperatures, but with the Malossi final gear and the Malossi belt, my temperatures have been in the high 350s, which is amazingly cool. I'll have to ride it some more and see if that holds to be true. And I'm running an NJ or an NGK. It might even be a B10 HS plug, so a really cold plug, but I might bump that to like a B8 HS plug here in the future. Of course, I added a fuel filter and replaced the fuel line. I think I changed the petcock, removed the oil tank under the seat there. Would like to move the battery there, but just haven't gotten around to it. And let's flip over to the other side. So I got extremely lucky with this bike in that I have a complete battery box, which is rare. You know, I've had 4 Urban Expresses, and I don't think any of them, except this one, which was the first one I bought, had a complete battery box. So that's nice. And there's the MLM pipe. Also, I've got the IRC NR77 90/14 rear tire, so it's like the biggest 14-inch tire I could get. 90 millimeters is about 3.55 inches wide, so kind of to match the front. Luckily my stator cover's in pretty good shape, there to the right bottom of your screen. And yep, it's starting to rain. We're going to have to wrap this up. Don't want the Urban to get all rainy wet. And I had to do, I've added the Trail Tech regulator because I kept blowing headlights before I got the new one. And I still have the oil pump. You know, maybe one of these days I'll do the oil pump delete. So, yeah, it's raining. I'm going to have to wrap this up. And I think, you know, that pretty much covers it on what I've done to the Urban Express. Currently, it does like mid-50s, which is scary fast. I've got to GPS it, but I rode it last week, and I was exploring areas in the speedometer that I'd never been to before, and it was pretty freaky. Luckily, the brakes work great on this, so I've got that going for me. And then finally, I've added my own little mud flap made out of maybe a Castrol oil bottle. My own little touch there. I kind of like that. Although it could be a bit wider because that front tire seems to hang out the side of it. So, and I'll just do a quick shot under the seat. You can see oil tank delete has occurred. And, you know, I've moved batteries. In another one, I put the battery there. Or I could do, try to come up with some sort of reserve gas tank there as well. But I don't know. We'll see. Future plans. I don't know if there's much more to do. Up front, you'll see I put the temp gauge right there. So it's fairly easy to view. And right now we're sitting at a Luke cold 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I've added my little iPhone holder just to be able to have the iPhone in view and the GPS there to just see how quickly the landscape is passing by. So anyhow, I hope you'd enjoyed it. We're getting a little damp here, so I think I'm going to move it back under cover. Thanks for watching.